Five. This is David Ryan Langham versus LaShonda Lee Langham. We're here on a merits divorce. And this has been set by the respondent, but may I first have announcements by the attorney for the respondent, for the plaintiff and then the respondent.
Yes, Judge Roy Pollack on behalf of the petitioner, David Langham.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
And may I please, go ahead.
My apologies, Your Honor. Diane Lofton, present on behalf of respondent LaShonda Langham.
Okay, very good. Glad to have you all here. All right, so I don't know too much about this case, but a little bit. It sounds like there is one child, and I know that Dad is doing some traveling back and forth. I've heard about that, flying. So this is what would help me if Mr. Pollack and Ms. Lofton, if you would make a brief opening statement, and then if you would, we'll have call the first witness, please. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Roy Pollack on behalf of the petitioner. The parties have been working hard over the last couple months on trying to resolve most of the issues to pare things down for the court.
That's great.
The only outstanding issue, as I understand it, is child support. And so I've attached what I believe is an agreed decree, except for child support, to my proposed disposition of issues.
Okay.
So the 2 or 3 pages that covers child support, we've plugged in the numbers that we're going to request for Mr. Langham, and Ms. Langham is going to propose different numbers to you, but everything else has been worked out, and I don't believe will be before this court. So I'm of the understanding we're going to give a bunch of time back this morning to you, and we're asking for a deviation from statutory guidelines due to the distance between the parties. Dad lives in Maryland, Mom lives in Austin now, and Dad would like to visit his child at least once a month per the possession order. And the evidence we're going to present today is basically travel, lodging, and transportation, and we're asking the court to consider deviating, and he is proposing a $900 a month child support, and then he has another child that he takes care of that he pays child support for in the amount of $600 a month. She will emancipate after this school year, so in early summer of 2025, and we have included in our proposed child support a step up after she emancipates, but it still is a decreased deviation due to the travel that will continue to exist. This child's only 7 years old.
Mr. Pollack, what is guideline in this? How much is the deviation?
Well, I'm not sure we agree 100% on guideline. I've got to get that guideline would be 1192.71.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good. That's helpful for me to know. So we're looking at about a $300 approximately variation from your view, and I'm sure we're going to hear something also from Ms. Lofton, but that's helpful. All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Pollack. Ms. Lofton, if you would, please let me hear from you. So what Mr. Lofton is saying that you all have worked hard, and really the remaining issue is child support. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Thank you both for working out all the issues, but for those, I appreciate that very much. So let's talk a little bit more about the child support issue, Ms. Lofton. So what is your client wanting? What is her views on this?
Your Honor, as Mr. Pollack stated, we have agreed on all issues except for child support. My understanding and our belief is in direct relation to the law, which states that Texas law presumes guideline child support is in the best interest of the child. Mrs. Langham will testify earlier this morning to discuss why it is necessary for her to receive at minimum guideline child support, which we would ask the court to take into consideration the age and needs of the child, that the child is primarily residing here in Texas, and Mrs. Langham will have actual physical custody of the child for the majority of this time. In addition to that, there will also be child care expenses over time that Mrs. Langham will have to consider paying for, as well as, if the child becomes sick. She may have to take off work for an extended period of time. And so we want the court to consider the factors under Texas Family Code 154.123, which supports why, at minimum, guideline child support should be set in this case. And based on the information that we have received from the other party, we believe statutory guideline child support would be approximately $1,310.37, and that's at 17.5% net resources, given that there is another child outside of this case. We do not have the exact information at this time for the health and dental insurance for the child in this case only. And at this time, we also don't have the exact information for the required amount that Mr. Langham is required to pay towards retirement. So give or take a few of the required contribution that his employer is requiring him to make towards retirement and the insurance that he will be paying for the child. But for that information solely, we believe that the child support amount will likely be around that $1,300 amount.
Okay. All right. So let me hang on a second. So basically, Dad is proposing, I'm just going to kind of go through it and make sure I understand. Dad is proposing $900 per month with a step up in the summer, and that's because there's an older child that's about to emancipate. His reason for that is because he is traveling to Texas, and we have obviously travel expenses associated with that. In Dad's view, guideline is $1,192. So that's on Dad's side of the V. Now, Mom says that she's wanting $1,310. And that in her view, that is guideline. She's saying that under the family code, the guideline child support is presumed to be in the child's best interest. Mom is also saying that right now we don't have the information on the child's dental and health insurance. And then secondly, excuse me, we don't have the information on retirement. And so those are the things that we're still looking at, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Okay, with that, let's go on then. That's a helpful opening statement. So focusing really on what's left, which is child support, and not on the other issues that you all have resolved, because we don't need to get into those this morning. The parties have worked hard and they're just going to cause rehashing old issues. It's just going to cause a lot of consternation to flare up that the parties and the attorneys have worked hard and paid good money for to get resolved before we come today. So we don't need to talk about those. Excuse me. Mr. Pollock, call your first witness.
Yes, I've called David Langham.
All right, Mr. Langham, may put your hand down now. Mr. Pollock, your witness.
Yes, thank you. Sir, please state your name for the record.
David Ryan Langham.
And David, we're going to just do a quick prove up like we discussed. Okay, of your divorce.
Okay.
So prior to filing this divorce, was the respondent a resident of Travis County in the state of Texas for at least 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. And has your marriage become insupportable because of discord and conflict of personalities?
Yes.
Is there no reasonable chance of reconciliation?
No.
Have you and Miss Langham entered into various agreements throughout your decree pertaining to your child, specifically conservatorship and possession access?
Yes.
And do you believe that those are in the best interest of your child?
Yes.
And we are asking the court today for guidance on the child support issue. Is that correct?
Yes.
And once the court renders judgment on the child support, do you believe that all the agreements in conjunction with the court's orders are in the best interest of your child?
Yes.
Have you and Ms. Langham also entered into agreements that are contained in the decree that address the division of your marital estate?
Yes.
And do you believe it's a just and right division?
Yes.
And there's one child born in this marriage, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And you have another child from another woman that's 17 years old, correct?
Yes.
And as far as you know, Miss Langham, as you sit here today, is not expecting a child. In other words, she's not pregnant.
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. And if she was, it wouldn't be physically possible that is your child. Is that correct?
No, no, sir.
Okay. Are you asking the court at the end of today's proceedings, once the child support issue is ironed out, to render judgment and grant the divorce?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about let's just get right to the child support. First of all, was this divorce something that you were seeking?
Initially, no. But after my wife left the residence, it has become yes.
Okay. And where were you and Miss Langham living prior to her coming to Austin, Texas?
We were living in Maryland
And for how long did y'all reside in Maryland?
about 5 years.
Okay. Was the decision for her to come to Austin, was that a joint decision, or was that a unilateral decision made by her?
She made her own decision.
Okay. And how old is your son?
He's 7.
Okay. And when Miss Langham moved to Austin, did she take your son with her?
Yes.
Okay. And what is his name?
His name is
And
Michael.
how long has she been now in Austin with Michael?
She, if I'm understanding this correctly, she was living in Austin at least by possibly August of 2023.
Okay. And she's had Michael the whole time.
Yes, yes, sir.
And how often have you seen Michael since he's moved down here?
I've seen him once.
Are you able to communicate with him?
Yes.
Okay. Has the distance created some issues as far as actual physical possession?
It has. It's created some challenges for me to see my son, due to the proceedings that I'm due to the divorce and the expenses. It's been challenging to see Michael, but I tried to ensure that at least I was able to speak to him on the phone, so I got him a phone. But yes, there has been challenges in seeing Michael.
Okay. And are you asking for a deviation from guideline child support to help accommodate some of the expenses and costs to see your son?
I am. I did a small projection of what it would cost to see Michael. I looked up the airline fees. I looked up the lodging fees and the rental fees, and just alone, just to see Michael is an expense in itself. I didn't calculate food expenses, or if I come down there and he bumps his knee and he gets hurt or something like that, and I got to take him to the hospital. But yes, I have done my due diligence in calculating what it would cost to actually see Michael, and um, with the amount of child support that I'm being asked to pay, plus the expenses, plus the daughter that I'm paying for right now. Do you want the court to know that I would like them to support the decision that my wife decided that she wanted to leave? I don't want her to be seen in a bad light or anything. She is a wonderful woman. I loved my family very much. We just didn't work out. We had differences, and that's okay. I did try to put it back together, but it is what it is. But my ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife, is a good mother, and my son is deserving of her, and that's why I picked her. But because of her decision, she's left me in kind of an expense. And due to that, I'm asking the court to please consider kind of giving me a break.
Okay. Do you believe it's in your son's best interest to have continuing physical contact with you?
Yes.
And how often would you like to see him? And we're going to present this evidence to the court in a moment, but how often would you ideally like to see him physically, where you're in possession of him?
I'd like to see him one weekend per month.
Okay. And then in addition, the you understand the holidays and the summer and all the other things we've agreed to.
Yes.
Okay. Let me give me a moment here. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Okay. And is this your proposed disposition of issues?
Yes.
Okay. And attached to this is a final decree of divorce that Ms. Lofton and I referenced to the court on our opening statements. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Okay. And the one area that we are asking the court for help on is child support, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And as we go to the bottom of page 25 and continuing on to 26, you are asking the court to pay monthly child support of $900 beginning January 1st, 2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then once your child emancipates, you are asking that on the bottom of page 26 that the rate goes up to $1,028.56. Is that correct?
Yes.
How much do you well, let me offer petitioners one.
Any objection to petitioner one?
Your Honor, I would object to, in part, the child support amount in which petitioner is seeking in this case, but outside of that child support amount, we would agree to the decree that is attached.
All right. Your objection is overruled. I will, of course, allow you the opportunity to put in your views on this same issue. So I will allow it. Mr. Pollack, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. So, Mr. Langham, let me and do you recognize this as your proposed support decision and information?
Yes.
And attached to this, do you have 3 recent pay stubs?
Yes.
And does that have the breakdown of what they pull out of your paycheck every 2 weeks?
Yes, it does.
Right. I would offer petitioners 2.
Any objection to petitioner two?
The only objection I would make, Your Honor, is to the validity or accuracy of the information in the document.
Well, okay, so what we have here is his pay stub. Are you saying that he's not being truthful on his pay stub? That it's been somehow or another, it's a fraud or a forgery, or he has a new job, or what's incorrect on it?
Let me back. So I don't have any objection to the pay stubs itself, but as it relates to the proposed support decision and how the numbers have been calculated, that would be the only issue.
Okay.
So that's the only objection that I would have to that.
Excuse me. I will allow you to cross-examine him on those, but if there's not an objection to the accuracy of the pay stub, that is the type of information that I'm going to need to make this decision. So the objection is overruled. However, opposing counsel, of course, will have an opportunity to cross-examine on the issues around which he has concerns regarding the accuracy of the calculation. Mr. Pollack, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And so, Mr. Langham, let me just point out a couple things that'll you may address with Ms. Lofton may want to address with you on your total monthly payments on debts. We have you have listed an IRS debt of a total of $5,500. You have $1,000 a month in which you say intends to pay. And then you have a Capital One credit card debt of $3,500. And again, you have a monthly amount that you intend to pay. So that's $1,300 extra a month in debt that you need to pay. Is that correct?
Yes.
At this time, are you able to make these payments?
It's difficult.
Are you able to make them in these amounts?
No.
Okay. Is that why you have that language in there, intends to pay?
Yes.
Are you trying to get things in order where you can get these paid off and get this debt off your plate?
I am, yes.
Okay. another segment of your proposed support decision I want to point out, you have under all other income, annuity and VA benefits in the amount of $1,832.66. Can you explain what that monthly amount is?
The annuity is from the death of my mother, and the VA benefits are for this my time spent in the military.
Okay. And these are monthly amounts you receive?
Yes.
And how much out of your health insurance a month is attributed solely to your son Michael, to the family plan part of your insurance?
About $148.
Okay. And you mentioned earlier that you had done some research on the expenses involved with traveling and lodging and transportation if you come to Austin. Is that accurate?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Let me show you what's been marked petitioners 3. Is this what you pulled off the public sites of Southwest Airlines, Best Western Lodging, and the car rental
Yes.
enterprise?
Yes.
Okay. And have you done this for several months that you're projecting trying to come to Austin to see your son?
I have. I tried to project it out for FY25.
Okay. I'd offer petitioners 3.
Your Honor, I would just object to the validity or accuracy of the information just because I can't personally verify the information, but that would be the only objection.
Okay. All right. Petitioner 3 is admitted. You may, for what it is, which is estimates of travel. All right. So with that, you may proceed, Mr. Pollack.
Thank you. And Mr. Langham, for ease of conveying the information, have you taken this information, which obviously has screenshots of your different costs per month? This covers the entire year of 2025.
It stops at October. I wasn't able to book past that.
Okay. Have you taken this information and created a document? Have you taken this exact information and created a document in a more concise form so that we can look at it for purposes of what the expenses are?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you what's been marked. Petitioners 4, and is this the document that shows January? I believe you said it cut off in October, so January through October. Have you taken those same numbers and just put them into one document so we can look at what's going on here?
Yes.
Okay. I would offer petitioners 4.
Any objection to petitioner 4?
Your Honor, it would just be the same objection as the last.
Okay. Overruled. Of course, you will fully be able to cross-examine on this. And petitioner 4 is admitted. Please proceed, Mr. Pollack.
Thank you. And Mr. Langham, from looking at these in January 2025, for instance, just doing the loose math in my head as I'm sitting here, that's roughly $900 to $1,000 in flight, lodging, and car rental.
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay. And then it looks like, I'm not going to walk you through each of these because this document's in evidence, but it looks like in March there's a hike in price. Is that March and April? Is that spring break? Is that what's going on there? Or
yes, I believe that includes spring break, and I believe that just includes spring altogether. The prices seem to spike in different times of the year. I don't know if you're going to go through it, but I'm looking at the document right now. In March, prices and flights goes up to $513. April's they shoot up to $567, and they're about May they're $572, and then they kind of fluctuate back down to $487 around August. But in September it shoots up to $602. So I went directly from the the web. I went directly to the airline websites to get this information, and I went through the whole process. I went in like I was going to book a flight for the year, and these are the prices they gave me after tax. So this was the information that I cataloged for the court to see.
Okay, and it looks like September really has a hike. So you're looking at it looks like you're looking at anywhere from roughly 900 to 1150 a month if you want to come down and visit with Michael in person. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. And as I stated, the document will speak for itself. Again, the calculations of this don't take into account food, correct?
No, it doesn't. Food or any type of childcare expenses.
Or any type of activity. I mean, if you guys come into town and you go to SeaWorld or the zoo, this is just flat what it's going to cost to fly, what it's going to cost to stay somewhere, and what it's going to cost for transportation.
Correct.
Okay. And are you making this request? Well, let me strike that. What are you? What's the name of your daughter that you have by another woman?
Her name is Danielle.
Okay, and how much in child support are you paying right now to her mother?
$600 a month.
And how old is Danielle?
She's actually 18.
Okay, but she's still in high school?
She's still in high school, yes.
And will she graduate in the early summer of 2025?
May, May, around May, yes, sir.
Okay. And okay, late spring maybe. I'm a little off on my seasons. And then did we take the number 900 and we just extrapolated out a step up once Danielle fell off, so we increased your child support? Is that correct?
Yes.
And are you asking that after she emancipates, that your child support amount goes up to $1,028.56?
Yes.
Do you have any motive in this request for a deviation from the child support guidelines? Is there any other motive other than the best interest of your son?
Son is very important to me. And I believe it's important for him to know that both his parents are still in his life and support him going through this process of, new family beginnings and stuff like that. There's a great deal. There's a great deal of why I'm asking for the court for support in this, but I think it's most important that I'm in his life. Unfortunately, my real father wasn't in my life, and for the longest, I had issues with that, and I had to work through them. And I don't want my son to go through that. So I'd like to be present in his life as much as possible.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Langham. I'll pass the witness.
Thank you, Mr. Pollock. Okay, now is the opportunity for Ms. Lofton to ask some questions if she'd like to. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Langham, I have a few questions to ask. One of them being, do you currently receive monthly payments in approximately $966 a month from teacher retirement system?
Yes.
Okay. And do you currently receive monthly payments approximately $899 a month from the Department of Veteran Affairs?
Yes.
Okay. And do you receive approximately $3,549 biweekly from your current employer?
Yes.
Okay. And just to confirm, you're currently paying insurance premiums for yourself, Michael, and Mrs. Langham?
Yes.
Okay. And earlier, I believe let me see if it was. I'm checking to see what exhibit. So earlier, your attorney admitted petitioner's exhibit 2, which is the proposed support decision. And in this calculation, you included the full amount of what you are paying for at this time related to health insurance and dental insurance for yourself, Michael, and Mrs. Langham.
Yes.
And if the court is to grant the divorce, you will no longer be required to pay health insurance and dental insurance for Mrs. Langham. Is that correct?
No, I understand what you're asking. It doesn't matter if it's family or child, it's the same amount. So even though my ex would be taking off my insurance, it'd be the same amount because Michael would be considered like on a family type lane.
Okay. Was it your testimony a few moments ago that not life insurance, but dental and health insurance for Michael would be in the amount of $148 solely for him?
Well, that's all together. That's what I pay for family. Well, I mean, that's not all. Yeah, that's what I pay. That's what I pay. Like, I have my insurance, and on top of that, it's the one. That's what I'm saying. It's the 148. So I'm not. I haven't memorized what my full amount that I'm paying for healthcare, but I know $148 of that is contributed to the family. So it wouldn't. What I'm saying is it wouldn't change if I took LaShonda off it. I'd still have to be paying that amount.
Okay. But I just want to confirm that your testimony earlier was that for Michael, his health and dental insurance for him solely would be approximately $148.
Yes.
Okay. And what I see from the proposed support decision as it relates to the insurance that you're currently paying at this time, your testimony is that your health insurance will not change the amount that you're currently paying, even if Mrs. Langham comes off of your insurance.
No.
Okay. And then as it relates to your employer at this time, you're currently under a retirement plan with your current employer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know what the required amount is for you to contribute to your retirement?
I believe it might be 4 or 6%.
Okay. Do you believe that you may be contributing more to your retirement than what you're required to contribute?
No, ma'am. I'm below. I think the max is like 11 or 13. I'm at like 4 or 6 right now.
Okay. So you're saying that you're paying less than you're required to pay towards your retirement?
I don't know that there's a requirement that my company has for anyone to. I don't know if anyone has a requirement for their employees to pay into retirement. What I'm saying is that their max contribution for their employees is 11%, and I'm paying below that, which is 4 to 6%. I can't answer to if they have a requirement for their employees. I just know they offer it for them.
Okay. So just to confirm that I hear you correctly, that it is possible that your employer does not require you to contribute to your retirement.
You don't have to if you don't want to, no.
Okay, thank you. Did you have any other retirement plans throughout the entirety of your marriage to Mrs. Langham?
No, ma'am, this was the only one.
Okay. And then the liability that you discussed earlier regarding the IRS payment, do you have any other outstanding debts or liabilities aside from that?
Just the credit card.
Okay. And will you accept full and personal responsibility for the IRS payment as well as the credit card debt that you accrued during the marriage?
How I accrued the IRS debt was that when LaShonda was living at the home, I was claiming head of household. When she abruptly left, I just distraught that my family wasn't there. I kept continuing to pay head of household. So here comes 2024 in April when I'm filing taxes. They ask me, "Where's your wife at?" And I'm saying she's been gone for about 4 months.
Objection.
let's let him finish. This is not worth a long argument on objection. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Mr. Langham.
I was just going to say, when I went to file taxes, I filed head of household thinking that I was okay. But what ended up happening, because she left, there was 6 months of where I should have filed single, and I didn't. So what happened was that I wasn't paying as much as I should have into the taxes. So I got penalized for that, and it came up to be about $5,500,
Okay.
and now I have to pay that amount because of this divorce and this decision that was made. So
Right.
yeah,
Thank you. I understand. Let's move on.
And let me see. Okay. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Mr. Pollack, do you have anything by way of redirect?
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All right, Mr. Langham, if you were here in court with us on the witness stand, I'd say you may step down. So figuratively, you may step down. All right, Mr. Pollack, you may call your next witness.
Judge, we'll rest. I'll let Ms. Lofton put on her client. I'll take her on cross.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pollack. All right, Ms. Lofton, we've had the other side has now rested. So it's your turn to ask any questions to call your first witness, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. I call Mrs. Langham to testify.
All right,
And
Mrs.
are you presently married to Mr. Langham at this time?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And just to confirm, have you been a resident of Texas for 6 months prior to filing of this divorce?
Yes.
Okay. And have you been a resident of Travis County 90 days prior to the divorce being filed?
Yes.
Okay. And also, just to confirm, you are not currently expecting a child at this time?
No.
Okay. And there was a child born during this marriage, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what's his or her name and age?
Michael Amir Langham. He's 7.
Okay. And prior to the filing of this divorce, did you and Mr. Langham and Michael all reside in the same residence?
Yes.
Okay. And why do you all no longer reside together?
Because David's behavior began to scare me. I became afraid and I left.
And would you like to elaborate as to why you decided to relocate to Austin, Texas, instead of any other area in Maryland?
I chose to go to Austin, Texas because it's where my family is. When I was residing in Maryland, it was just me and David and my 2 kids. I went where I was supported with my family.
Okay. And so you believed that it was in your best interest to relocate to another city and state rather than stay in the home with Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Okay. And it's also your understanding that there's no chance of you and him reconciling at any time?
No.
Okay. So at this time, I want to talk more about the child support matter. And I want to ask, are you currently employed at this time?
Yes.
And where are you employed?
I have 2 employers. I'm employed by Entrusted Pediatric Home Health and also by Avena. I start on Monday. That's pediatric home health as well.
Okay. Do you
Aviana, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch the second. Can you repeat what the second thing was?
There was a little jumble,
Aviana.
if you wouldn't mind. Hang on just 1 second. There was a little jumble, and I think the record might be a little unclear. So let's start again, Ms. Langham, on where you work and where you're starting on Monday, and if you're going to be working both of those jobs or if this is a new job, okay?
Okay. I work at Entrusted Pediatric Home Health, and I also work at Aviana Pediatric Home Health.
Okay. And do you have any other additional sources of income?
I do YouTube, and I also do Etsy.
And does the income fluctuate?
Etsy and YouTube, yes. Currently, I haven't made very much on YouTube and Etsy.
Okay. And you currently have outstanding monthly expenses and debts at this time as well?
Yes.
Okay. What I want to do is pull up Respondents Exhibit 7. All right. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to today's hearing, did you have an opportunity to complete a financial information statement for the court to review?
Yes.
Does this document appear to reflect the information that you previously included in this document?
Yes.
And does this document also have pay stubs from one of your employers attached?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we'd like to offer Respondents Exhibit 7 into evidence.
Any objection to Respondent 7?
No objection, Your Honor.
Respondent 7 is admitted. You may proceed.
Thank you. So I am scrolling down to, let's see, page 2 of the exhibit, and if you could point out the most important monthly expenses that, or at least discuss with the court what your current monthly expenses are.
Okay. Currently, I just moved into my apartment. So my biggest expense right now is my apartment. My rent is $1,500 a month. And then of course I have my car and my insurance together. That's $500 a month. Food is a big expense because price has gone up with food. Um, those are my biggest expenses that I have at the moment.
Okay. Do you currently have any outstanding debts that you are responsible for paying at this time?
No.
Well, aside from your vehicle?
Yeah, well, yeah, my vehicle loan, yes.
Okay. And do you believe that Mr. Langham should contribute financially by paying child support?
Yes.
And have you had a, let me stop sharing. Have you had a chance to review Mr. Langham's pay stubs, his pension plan that he's receiving, and other sources of income?
Yes.
And is it your belief that based on that information that statutory guideline child support would be approximately $1,300.10 or $1,310.39 per month?
Yes.
And it is your understanding that Mr. Langham is paying child support for another child?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking the court to order a step up in that child support payment once that child support order for the other child ends?
Yes.
And is it your belief that that payment would likely reflect the amount of approximately $1,497.58 per month?
Yes, from what I understand.
And is it, or I'm sorry, do you believe that the court should also order that a wage withholding order be placed on with Mr. Langham's employer?
Yes.
And we'll stipulate to that.
And why do
All
you?
right. Thank you, Mr. Pollock. It's noted. Ms. Lofton, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. So why do you believe that the court should not deviate from guideline child support?
The reason why I feel like the court should not deviate from it is I really want the court to consider the fact that when my son gets sick, I have to take off work. My employer understands that in certain school holidays, because both my kids go to different school districts, on certain holidays, I have to take off to be at home to watch my kid, Michael. I don't have anybody to watch him. This winter break for a week during Christmas, I don't have anybody to watch him. I have to take off work. I really would like the court to consider that. I don't have anybody to watch him during those times. If he gets sick, I miss work. and I don't get paid. School holidays, I don't get paid. I have to take off because I don't have anybody at the house to watch them.
Okay. And then also, if you were to consider daycare, what would that expense look like?
Daycare is really high. Here in Austin, Texas, you're looking at about 240 to 260 a week for childcare. He does have after school programs, but these after school programs don't take them during breaks. It's just after school.
Okay. And let me see. I just want to go back real quick and just ask you, is there any other reason that let me ask, is there any other reason that you would like to express to the court as to why the court should not deviate from guideline child support?
Also, I would like the court to consider that the type of jobs that I have to take. I am a licensed vocational nurse. I had to go back into nursing. The thing with licensed vocational nursing is a lot of the schedules are from 6 to 2, from 7 to 3, or 3 to 11. I've had to take jobs to where I can only work from 8 to 4 or 8 to 6 when I can pick him up from his after school program. I would like them to consider that too, because I kind of could put to kind of basically makes it to where I can't work the normal nursing hours that I would be able to when we were married. I could do 12-hour shifts. I could do longer. I can't really do longer because the start times are so early in the morning when you're working in the medical field.
So when we take into consideration your current income and your monthly expenses and debts, would you say that, what would you say about that? Let me just ask you. Or I can rephrase.
Can you rephrase the question?
So do you believe that your monthly debts and expenses come close to what you bring in, if not more, than your income?
Yes, yes. I feel like they're a little like I took on a second job because the job entrusted that I got hired for full time. I do private duty nursing, just so the court knows. I do private duty. I was hired for a case for a family. And when I got on and I started the paperwork, the family switched companies. So now I'm only getting 2 days a week. And that is why I decided to go with another company to compensate those hours that I'm missing. That's why I started Aviana Pediatric Home Health, so that I can get 40, close to 40 hours as possible.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is show you Respondent's Exhibit 9. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay. While much of the information here in the proposed disposition of issues is also reflected in the divorce decree, I just wanted to bring to the court's attention more specifically that you are seeking at minimum guideline child support in this case, and you are asking the court to order a wage withholding order, which has also been stipulated to. So aside from that, is that information in this document true and correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Your Honor, at this time, I would be asking the court to, or I'm sorry, well, offer this document into evidence as Respondent's Exhibit 9.
Any objection to Respondent 9?
No objection, Your Honor.
Respondent 9 is admitted. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. At this time, I pass the witness.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Lofton. We're going to take our morning break now before Mr. Pollock cross-examines this witness. My court reporter needs a moment to rest her hands, and all of us probably need a second to use the restroom. So we will come back at 10:15 and resume with Mr. Pollock and a cross-examination. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Where court is in recess just until 9:15. Where we had left off, Ms. Lofton had just completed the direct examination of her client, Ms. LaShonda Lee Langham. It's now Mr. Pollock's turn to ask questions on cross-examination. Mr. Pollock, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, what school does Michael currently attend?
Bluebonnet Trails Elementary.
And what grade is he in?
He is second grade. He's in second grade.
And you had stated that when you left Maryland, you left with 2 children. Who's your other child?
Javon,
And how old is Javon?
he is 13.
And where does he attend school?
He Texas Empowerment.
And what grade's he in?
He is in seventh grade. He's in seventh grade now.
And do you receive support for Javon?
Yes, I do.
How much a month do you receive for him?
$412. It just got changed.
It got changed from what?
It was $1,123, but we just had it modified this week because of financial hardship. So it's been modified to 412.
And what county did that take place in?
San Antonio, Bexar County.
In Bear County. And was that modified by agreement, or did you have a contested hearing?
We had a little modified by agreement this
Okay.
week. Yeah.
So y'all submitted an agreed order to the court?
Well, no, he went ahead and asked for it to be modified. So we had an appointment and I had to show up. And I guess it was like a mediation to see what he can pay. And so that was the agreed amount because he's no longer employed anywhere. He doesn't have a job. He's
Okay.
been unemployed for 6 months.
Was it an appointment with the Attorney General, the Texas Attorney General?
Objection,
Yes.
relevance.
I'll allow it at this point. I think Mr. Pollock, I hope, is going to tie this up. Mr.
I'll
Pollock, you
move
may.
on.
Okay.
Thanks, Judge. I'll move on. I'm sorry. And ma'am, on your respondents 7, which is your proposed support decision information, you didn't have did you have Aviana listed on that? The newest
I
job?
did not. This is new.
Okay. And you testified that you also have we'll strike that. So what is listed on the PSDI, your proposed support decision? It has entrusted's income.
They should be entrusted.
How much more income is Aviana going to generate a month?
Well, it pays per case. So the case that they assigned me on is 24 an hour, 2 days, 2 to 3 days a week, but it's going to be 2 days a week.
Okay, so it's 24 an hour, 2 to 3 days a week, and how many hours do you work those cases?
Well, Aviana, the new one, is going to be 8 hours, 24 an hour. Entrusted is 27 an hour.
Okay. Entrusted's 27, and how many? When you say you're going to work 2 to 3 days on the Aviana case, how many hours a day does that entail?
That 8-hour shifts.
They are 8-hour shifts. Okay.
Yeah, 8-hour shifts.
So it'll be 16 to 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay. And then what about entrusted? How many hours do you work a week for them?
I do 20 hours. So each day is 10 hours shifts.
Okay. And then you also testified that you you generate income on YouTube. Is that right?
Yes.
What do you do on YouTube?
I do It's entertainment, astrology, tarot reading. That income fluctuates though.
Okay, and is that the website Cancer and the Crab?
Well, the YouTube channel is separate. The YouTube channel is what I use to advertise the Cancer and the Crab.
Okay,
So the Cancer and the Crab is separate. I open it and I close it. It's my little Etsy store.
okay, so Cancer and the Crab is Etsy?
Yes, the cancer. Okay, YouTube is called the Cancer and the Crab, and Etsy is called the Cancer and the Crab. They're both named the same thing.
Okay, and so is Etsy merchandise?
It's psychic readings, it's tarot readings for entertainment.
Okay. Okay, and do you know what the fluctuation is generated between YouTube and Etsy roughly a month? I mean, what's like a high and what's a low?
The highest for YouTube can be anywhere from like about 500 a month. Etsy, when I'm doing good, about 400, 300 to 400 when I have it open.
And isn't it true that when you left Maryland, one of the reasons you moved to specifically Austin, you have family here, right?
In Austin, yes.
You have a support group here, correct?
Yes, in Austin, yes.
Okay, and when you first moved here, prior to moving into your apartment, where did you live?
I lived with my father.
Okay, and what does your father do for a living?
He is retired military. He's a bus driver.
Okay,
Well,
so
no, he's not a bus driver. I'm sorry that he's not a bus driver. From what I understand, he trains bus drivers.
okay, so he works within the same school system your children attend. Is that correct?
One of them, yes.
Okay, which school system, Michael or Javon?
I believe he's with Javon. Is it Maynard? I get it confused. Honestly, I don't want to state something that's not true. I want to say no, I think it's Michael's, the youngest. I think it is.
Okay, and do you also have other kin here in the Austin area?
Yes, I do now.
Okay, who else is here?
My sister moved here. I also have uncles.
Okay, do you have any aunts here as well?
Yes, I have an aunt here. I have aunts here. 3.
Are any of these other relatives retired?
Only one, my uncle BJ.
Okay. And when you were living with your father, were you able to get some help with the children?
Sometimes, but not really. My father works late. He's a supervisor, so he does a lot of training. So his days would be really long. So not so much. It was more for like a roof over my head.
And what about the other family members? Are they available to help out as, on occasion?
My sister every now and then, but she also works as well.
And what about your aunts or uncles?
No, they we're close, but they're not. No,
Are
they're
y'all
unable to have work. They work.
are y'all proximate to each other?
Um,
In other
who?
words, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, when you first moved here, your dad's address was that the Avering Avenue home
Yes,
on Avering?
Avery. Yes,
Okay, so where are you currently residing? Are you near Avering Avenue?
I am near. Yes,
Okay, and what about your sister? Is she near where you reside?
yes, she is. She's actually in another building. We're in the same apartment complex.
Okay, and what about your aunts and uncles? Are they nearby as well?
No, they're a bit further. One's in Hutto, I think it's called Hutto,
I don't.
and the other ones are in Round Rock,
Okay.
like Round Rock area.
So the immediate family, you, your sister, and your dad, you three live near each other.
Yes, we do.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
I just have a quick redirect, Your Honor.
All right, you may.
As it relates to Respondents Exhibit 7, I just want to confirm, Mrs. Langham, do you recall that we did include an approximate amount of your average income from other sources that you may earn income from?
Yes.
And then as it relates to the more recent questions that you were asked, is it your responsibility to care for your children?
Yes.
Would you put that responsibility on any of your other family members?
No, they don't help me with my kids like that. No,
Okay. Is it safe to say that you would not rely on them being available every time you may need someone to watch one of your children?
I can't rely on them. They have to work. They work long hours.
Okay. At this time, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, any other questions for this witness, Mr. Pollock?
Judge, just one clarification.
Okay,
Ms. Langham, when you just answered your attorney about other sources, that refers to the YouTube and Etsy accounts, correct?
Yes.
In other words, A-Ring just got on the board. That wasn't on the table at the time you guys filled out this paperwork.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fairly new.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
all right, very good. I have let me ask you first before I go on, Ms. Lofton, do you have any additional questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I have a couple of questions for you, Ms. Langham.
Mhm.
You and husband split in August of 2023, is that correct?
Not in August. It was like June,
June of
June
23?
2023. Yeah, it was like around June. Yeah.
Okay. How many times since June of 2023 has husband visited with your son?
Mm, Well, I don't know if this counts. He came down to try to get back with me. And I didn't want to get back with him, but I told him he could see the kids, and he said he couldn't stay. He's seen them for a little bit, but I guess he had to go somewhere else, so he left, and he hasn't seen them.
When was that?
Um, oh wow, that was in 2023. I want to say was that in around October-ish? I
Okay.
want to say it was around the fallish time when he did that.
Did
I'm
he see
not
the
quite
kids?
sure exactly.
Did he see the kids then? Or
Yeah,
did
he
he just
did. He
say
saw him
no?
for a little bit and he left.
Okay, very good. Um, do you make it possible for Michael to have Zoom telephone calls with Dad?
Yes, yes, I do.
How
He does
frequently?
have his phone is acting up lately. So I'm gonna get him a new phone. But yes, he does Zoom and he does call his dad, and they talk quite frequently.
All right, very good. Thank you. That's all the questions I have for you. Okay. All right. So with that, Mr. Pollock, Ms. Lofton, I guess you rest. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. All right, Mr. Pollock, what do you have by way of closing, and then I'll hear from Ms. Lofton.
Just very briefly, Judge, it's such a narrow issue. I just think Texas has always had the public policy of continued contact and consistent contact between parents and child. And certainly my experience in Travis County has been that courts take that very seriously. We deal with so many, unfortunately, dads and occasional moms that are not involved with their children. And so when we have a dad like Mr. Langham who is representing the court, I would like to come down here once a month to see my son, and he has demonstrated the cost that this is going to entail. I think the court should take this request very seriously and consider deviating from guidelines to accommodate this relationship and to encourage this relationship. Zoom and FaceTime are great. I mean, that's a modern convenience for sure, but there's nothing like physical contact and getting to hang out with a parent. And that's what Mr. Langham is attempting to do here. And we'd like the court to consider doing this. We think the evidence has indicated that this is a reasonable request, and it's certainly in the best interest of the child.
All right, Mr. Pollock, I have a couple of questions for you. I know you've introduced these as exhibits. I just obviously haven't had a chance to look at them in detail yet. It looked to me like the way the travel had been calculated was that your client had basically gone on Southwest Airlines website, full prices, and then kind of averaged those over the years, over the course of several months, so we could figured out the amount of a rental car, and then the Best Western Hotel, and that's how he had kind of averaged those together and come up with just kind of an average price of travel. Is that correct?
Well, I think in petitioners 3, he actually has pictures of he took pictures of what they're not averages, they're actual costs. As you know, with booking flights, you can go on and see what it's going to cost to book a flight on any given date. And
Right.
what he was trying to do was pick a consistent weekend over the course of the next 10 months. And this is his cost. It's
What
considerable.
was the actual cost of that? The flight, the hotel, give me a number here. The flight, the hotel room, the
It-
car,
It
average.
seemed to me he's looking at about $1,100, and it is more than that.
All right, $1,100. Okay. Now, how much, Mr. Pollock, another question for you. How much is your client making every month gross? I saw we had obviously some's being taken out for retirement, some's being taken out for his debt. I know he's got some VA benefits and then also some from his mother's teacher retirement. What's his gross?
The gross that I calculated, the number I gave you on opening was 8,931 and 86 cents.
Mhm.
And that was including all the sources.
Okay, and then of course he has, on top of that, he's got child support, he's paying for another child, he's got some debt to the IRS, some credit card debt, and then of course some amount he's leaving out for retirement, plus his rental expenses and things like that, right?
Yes.
Boom. Okay. All right, now let me ask you, Mr. Pollock, I'm going to stay with you. What are we looking at in terms of mom's gross monthly?
I'm not 100% certain because I just found out a few minutes ago that she's starting another job. So I'm really not 100% sure. And it seems that these other things she does on YouTube and Etsy, according to her testimony, fluctuate. I have no reason to doubt that. It's hard to pin down an exact number. I also just found out that her child support got reduced by the other father. It
Right.
used to be over $1,100. So that's all brand new information moments ago.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pollock. I'm going to switch over to Ms. Lofton now. Let's talk about your client. What is her gross monthly looking like with these changes that we've had? So she has her 2 jobs that she has as an LVN, and she's explained her schedule, why that is. She has her YouTube Etsy, which goes up and down, and we've had a recent reduction in child support. What is she looking at gross?
So for her daytime, or I guess primary job that she's currently employed with, it's about $1,860 per month. And then with the new job, I want to say she likely would have started this week. And the hours will fluctuate, but I combine that with the reduction in the current child support amount of $412, and then the sporadic payments from the other sources from social media, and I yielded an amount of 2496 gross. So 2496 plus the 1860, not including the current child support amount that she's receiving from Mr. Langham at this time. So if you want a final number.
How much is that? Yeah.
1860 plus 2496. It would put her at 4356 for what she's making herself, and with the child support amount included from the other child, and then whatever the court orders today will be in addition to.
Okay. So she's making 4356, and that includes both of her jobs as an LVN, the child support, which has been reduced now to $400 a month for the other child. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, if I may, I thought she just said the gross is 4356, and then in addition to that, it'll be the other child support and Mr. Langham's support.
Is that right? Let's leave Mr. Langham out. Let's leave Mr. Langham out of it right now. But in terms of the 4356, does that include the $400 in the other child support?
Yes, it just does not include the child support for this specific case.
Right. Okay. All right. Very good. And then then the Etsy store, the cancer and the crab, that's not included because it fluctuates. Is that right?
It fluctuates. And again, Your Honor, also let's reiterate that this new job literally just started, if not this week, early last week. She had only had an offer letter recently, and so it's, that also is going to fluctuate as far as hours go. So we did the best that we could based on the hourly pay and what we think her hours will be moving forward.
Right. Okay. All right. Very good. Give me just a moment here. I need to go calculate a couple of things. I'll get back with you all. Let's hold on for just a few minutes. Okay.
Your Honor, would you be okay with me doing a closing argument? I'll be brief.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Of course. Go ahead, Ms. Lofton.
Okay. So, as Mr. Pollock stated, the issue here would be the child support amount. And we do believe that, guideline child support is in the best interest of the child. The travel expenses that Mr. Langham testified about earlier, we had Mr. or Mrs. Langham testify as well as to why those travel expenses would basically correlate to the reason they're no longer living together. Because of her having to relocate for reasons why the marriage didn't work, that is why the travel expenses now exist at this time. And I'd just like the court to take into consideration, again, Texas Family Code 154, 123, that says the court can consider the age and needs of the child, the amount of possession time that parent will have primarily with the child, with her being the primary caretaker here in Texas, as well as future child care expenses that she will have to cover. Mr. Langham has several sources of income. And then I'll also just point out to the court that Texas Family Code 154.062D says that the required deductions can be taken into consideration for the petitioner's gross. And Mr. Langham testified that he is not required to contribute to retirement with his employer. And so under that section, under the code, non-discretionary retirement is only to be considered when we're deducting from a gross income, as well as him testifying earlier that he is only paying $148 a month for health and dental for Michael. I understand that he did testify about what he's paying for himself, but as it relates to considering that information and what we're deducting from the actual child support or guideline child support amount, with no required amount to contribute to his employer, and with the 148 for the health insurance and dental, that would only be the additional deduction from the amount that we have brought to the court's attention. And so we would respectfully ask the court to consider the expenses that will come with primarily caring for the child here in Texas. And we would ask that you not grant the request that they are seeking, but that the court at minimum would provide Mrs. Langham guideline child support to support the child.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Pollock?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, hang on just a few minutes. I'll be right back with you all. Okay. Here we go. All right, so I'm back. I do grant the divorce. I do grant guideline child support in favor of mother. I do order, however, that to the extent that father does plan a trip to Austin, Texas, that mother will be responsible for 50% of that travel, but not to exceed $500. So she will be paying for some of that travel if dad decides to come to Austin, Texas. But she's not going to be responsible for it's 50 up to 50%, not to exceed $500. Otherwise, she gets guideline child support. So I do ask the parties, we are coming up on the end of the year. So please, get me that order so I can sign it. If you get it to me, I will sign it before the end of the year. But keep in mind realistically where the court is. We're going to be after December 20th here very rarely. So if you can get it to me before then, I can get it signed. Okay? All right. Very good.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I clarify?
Yes.
We both have differences on guideline child support as it relates to Mr. Langham's net resources. I didn't know if the court had a number or.
I don't, where's the concern here? Is it about the retirement?
So our understanding is that guideline child support would be $13.1038.
That's what you told me.
I'm not sure if Mr. Pollock is in agreement with that number or would offer a different number to the court. If he's in agreement with it, then we can stick with that number.
Well,
Where are we with this, Mr. Pollock?
we ran the calculator at the monthly gross that I provided the judge of $8,931.86, applying 148 for health insurance attributable to the child, and then also the 17.5% because he's supporting another child. And
Right.
the number that we came up with was $11.92.71.
Good Lord. Where's the difference here, folks? Mr. Pollock, help me understand how you all, did you run all those numbers through the calculator, just as we said, the other child and?
I did. I just punched in the numbers on the Attorney General calculator site, and that's what it spit out.
Okay. Where's the difference here? What's going on? Help me.
Your Honor, if that's the number, then that's fine, 1162.
Okay. All right. I just need to know the exact number on the Attorney General calculator. That's all I can do, guys, is run that calculator. Now, the reason I've structured this order like this is because dad does make a lot more than mom. Mom does have the child most of the time. I do, however, find that it is in the child's best interest to maintain a relationship with his father. It's just that I don't want to necessarily give father a financial break in the child support land if he's not going to come see the child. This way, he can, if he wants to come see the child, mom will kick in some money to do that. Mom, I suggest you have some of that put aside for that day to come. But yeah, 500, she'll pay up to 50%, not to exceed $500. So that's where we are. And I would like to hopefully see dad come to see the child as frequently as he possibly can. All right, very good. With that, I will be looking for that final order, Mr. Pollock.
I'm sorry, Judge, just so we can get a clean order.
Mhm.
A couple things. Does travel include, you saw the exhibit where
It includes three things: airline ticket, okay, rental car, okay, and hotel.
okay,
I'm not not including food in that because if
Sure.
someone else is bad enough, they can pack their own food for the week, or they can do whatever they're going to do. I'm not going to give a per diem for food from mom. That's not
Sure.
happening.
And
Okay.
then the other clarification on the reimbursement aspect, because I
Uh-huh.
think for the AG, it's going to be easier to just have the monthly and then Miss Langham will reimburse. Is that going to be within 2 weeks, within a week? How does the court want to structure that so we can get that in the order?
I want her to have 30 days to get it reimbursed. Okay. Because she needs to get her paycheck in there and figure it out. Now, I would say, Ms. Langham, I think that a wise woman might open a little savings account and put some away so that you can reimburse him right away and have it always available for him. But I think that structuring it like this causes dad to look for the cheapest tickets available, causes him to look for the cheapest hotel and rental car available. So it's 50% up to 500. Now, if he finds a cheaper ticket to get here, that's fine. The other thing, of course, is, I myself am a mother, although my children are grown. I would not put a 7-year-old in an airplane. It's not going to happen. But if we do get to the point where the child is a little older and a little more confident, and just bigger, can speak up for himself, and he decides to go see dad, then the same thing applies. In some ways, that's likely to be cheaper because he can stay with dad. He certainly doesn't need a rental car, but it's going to be a few years, in my sense, before that can happen because a 7-year-old is a small child, in this day and age. I wouldn't. So, okay, that's where we are. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes,
I know when no one got exactly what they wanted out of this, but my hope is that we'll encourage the parents to find reasonable ways to get the Southwest Airlines credit card, which gives you some points. It incentivizes both sides to find inexpensive ways to make this happen so that dad can see child. Okay. All right. Very good. With that, Mr. Pollock, anything else on the order?
That's it, Judge. Thank you.
Ms. Lofton, anything else on the order?
that's it, Judge. Thank you.
All right, very good. When do you think I will see this order?
If we get the numbers plugged in, I would say no later than the end of next week or before. We already
Okay.
have Quadro prepared and ready to go as well.
That's good. Now let's talk about dates real quick because we need to be realistic. Everyone's wanting divorces by the end of the year. And I have told the family bar I will do my dead level best to get them done by the end of the year. But keep in mind that after Friday the 20th, we essentially don't have in-person dockets anymore, and people are starting to go on Christmas break because the following Monday it's hard to believe, it's December 23rd. So if I'm going to order you all to get that order to me by 9 o'clock on December 20th. And the reason why I say 9 a.m. is because that gives my staff some time to process it, me time to sign it, and then to get it at the district clerk's office and get it on file for you all. Okay?
It shouldn't be a problem. If it's okay with Ms. Lofton, I'll work on that language over the weekend and get you something early next week.
Okay, thank you.
And send it to our submission inbox, which is 455.submission@TravisCountyTX, all one word.gov. Submission@TravisCountyTX.gov. Submission@TravisCountyTX.gov. In the subject line, write HO, which means hearing order, and the cause number. And then today's date, and we'll know what this was. We'll see it's a hearing order, and I will sign it for you so that this family can have some finality on this before the end of the year. Okay. All right. Very good. Now I wish, Mr. and Mrs. Langham, I wish you both the best as you embark upon this next chapter of life. Ms. Langham, I don't know if you plan on keeping the last name Langham. If you do, that's fine. If you don't, then you'll need to get a name change order. And with this, I will also be signing that. But that name change order, you would need to be getting a certified copy from the district clerk's office, set you back about $5. You'll need to have it per copy. I'd get several copies of it, and then you can give those to your bank or whoever you need. But my suggestion is if you want a name change, I would do it now because you've got an attorney. It's easy for her to do, and we can easily get it done for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. Very good. All right.
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to find out what exactly was the amount that you concluded on of monthly child support.
It's $1,192 is what your attorney said, and 71 cents. But I've asked them to plug it into the calculator with the Attorney General's office in the state of Texas and make sure that amount is correct. And that's where we are with it. That was the amount, $1,192.71. And then what I'm saying is that if you go to see the child, now ex-wife, because I've just granted, the divorce is granted, would be contributing 50% up to $500 for your trip. And that's to see the child. Okay. All right. Very good. With that, I grant the divorce. I wish you all the best in this next chapter of life. You've worked hard to get this hearing done as efficiently as possible by getting the issues agreed to before you walked in the door, doing it on Zoom, and getting competent counsel to help you. So these things have all helped you a lot today. And I know it doesn't, sometimes it probably doesn't feel that way, but you all have handled this well and gotten it done very well. Okay. With that, I wish you every blessing and all the best in 2025 and every happiness as you embark upon life's next chapter. There's nothing else. You all may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.